Escape from Tarkov and my time making videos for you guys, I've covered a lot of ways to make money, whether that means you need to get a load of things for your hideout or you want really good gear sets to go into raid and hopefully make more money through PvP. I just talked about the best, most profitable ways to make a hell of a lot of rubles in Escape from Tarkov, and believe it or not, it's extremely easy. Just look at the videos that I've made previously. It could either be go to this specific room with this specific key and you'll make your profit back in no time, or hell, I've even made videos where you don't need any keys at all and you'll make a good bit of money. But people always want more, right? And that's why I'm right here, standing outside of Idea with my little golden petite in my hands, and I'm just willing to help you once again. And that is because the caches within Escape from Tarkov have been updated, very recently in fact. Caches have been around in Escape from Tarkov throughout the different maps for a little bit now, and sometimes there was pretty lackluster loot within them. However, lately it has been much better, meaning that you can make a lot more money. And in this specific loot run, it is a low risk loot run where you can loot 8 caches within about 5 minutes. And you could do this on your scav run because hardly anyone loots the caches, and you could also do it on your PMC run if you want to as well. A couple of things to note: if you're doing this on your scav run, then you've always got access to both extracts on the interchange map. You've got the Emacom checkpoint and you've got the railroad extract. And the railroad extract is very important because that is right near some of the caches that we're going to be looting. So I recommend, if you can, do this on your scav run. Not only will you get a free loadout that you can use as well, but you can extract at the railroad at all times anyway. If you want to use your PMC and you spawn on the railroad side, then obviously you can loot the area and then you're going to have to run all the way to Emacom checkpoint to get out. But feel free to go through the interchange shopping mall, loot the tech stores and get out that way, or just border the outside of the map to get to the extract as well. There's pros and cons with doing it both ways. If you're a PMC, you can carry a big backpack and you can get tons of loot out. If you're a scav, you may not always spawn with a large backpack, meaning that you may have to chop and change or find a scav to kill to get a bigger backpack in order to bring out the loot that you want. But without further ado, I'm actually in Interchange live right now because we're going to do this loot run right now together. Not only will you see my live reactions on what stuff we can be getting, but you'll see just how long it takes to get from one spot to another, and I'll be able to describe which cache is where in a lot more detail for you guys. So, without further ado, start off at the interchange Idea side, and you're going to basically want to head into this go-karting track opposite Idea. If you get into one of the broken bits of fence and you go inside, you go over the track into this middle island area here. When you're looking at the island, look to your right and you'll see 2 trees facing the construction site, and in between these 2 trees is another smaller tree, and a bush is right next to this smaller tree. Inside this bush is our first ground cache that we're going to be looting, so if we loot that, let's see what we can get. Toothpaste, M80, some slugs. Honestly, not too bad considering. M80 sells for quite a bit on the flea market, so that ain't too bad. From here, you're going to want to just head out towards the construction site, and as soon as you head out of the go-karting track, you'll see a small blue bit of fence and a silver and blue container. Between this is a small bush where the container and the fence meet, and inside this bush is a barrel cache, so we're going to loot that. As you can see, we get an LCD screen here, a Zagustin, some bolts, a ceiling foam, that's always good, and a D battery, so not bad there either. And then from here, continue heading towards the construction site, and you'll see that sort of the overpass here that's being in construction, you're going to want to head underneath that. If you're heading towards the road, the highway, and you're heading towards the railway extract, you go underneath this bridge anyway. And then when you're underneath the bridge, look to your left, and into the corner you'll see some crumbled bit of concrete. Head up to that crumbled bit of concrete and you will see that there's another barrel cache, but you do need to crouch to be able to get this cache. There we go, that's good. Fuel is always good, and even bulbs sell for a good amount of money. So from here, we're going to go out and then wait till we can uncrouch ourselves, there we go, and we can continue on towards the highway and head towards sort of the railway extract. We're going to want to make our way to the other side of this highway, so just jump over the barriers, and then once we're on the other side of the highway, head down towards the scav checkpoint down the road. So just keep going past, you'll see a yellow bus, the green container here, just keep heading along the road. And then dip yourself into the forest just a little bit, keeping the road to your left, and you'll see all this blue paneling and all this blue wall here just been knocked down by all these bulldozers. You'll pass 2 bulldozers and you'll see that there's one more in the corner, and then sort of this blue fence starts to stand up. You want to line yourself up with the toppled over fence and the bulldozer, and then turn 90 degrees to your right. You'll see a tent in the forest, and then from there just head straight past the tent, keeping the tent to your right, and you'll see a bunch of trees. There's a bunch of small trees and a few big trees. So there's 3 big trees, one there, and one there, with one in the middle. The one in the middle has the cache right on it. And then from here, we're on a sort of high bit of land here. You're going to want to turn right and follow the high bit of land around towards the railroad extract. You'll see that there's puddles of water, and that is sort of going to be our indication for our next stash. We're still walking through forests, but then you'll start to see 2 small puddles of water here. And if you look sort of at the train at this 45-degree angle and follow it down between the 2 puddles, you'll see that there's a tree and a cache right next to it. This one, some people do struggle to find, so just look around and hopefully you can find it pretty easily. There's a nice little exfil face shield and some sugar. That goes for a lot on the flea market, believe it or not, because people want to train their skills, so that ain't bad either. And then from here, we're going to continue following the high ground all the way around to the right. You'll see that this crumbled bit of concrete with these rusty fuel containers. We're going to ignore that one, but the second fuel container closer to the railroad extract is where we're going to want to go. Head up to that rusty fuel container and you'll see a bush. Go through the bush, and then you'll see amongst the concrete 2 tool bits resting up against other bits. In between the 2 tool bits is the barrel cache that we're going to be wanting to loot. And then from here, simply head to the railroad itself, and if you beeline it, you will see a T-Rex painted on the wall. To the right of the T-Rex is a group of trees. Head into the group of trees and head to the very right hand side of the small grouping of trees, and you'll see a bush right up against the outer concrete wall. Inside of this bush there is another cache for you to loot. So there we go, nice bit of ammo there. We're getting a lot of ammo, and that's good because a lot of the ammo is pretty good, especially M80. M80 does sell for a lot, believe it or not. And we got Zagustan so far, we got face shield, we're doing alright. And that is 7 of 8 stashes that we can loot. So our last one is simple. You just head to the outer concrete wall, turn right and follow this wall, keeping the wall to your left, and you'll see some more crumbled up concrete. You're going to want to head to that, and amongst the concrete you will see our 8th stash that we can loot here. Simply loot that and we'll get our goodies. There's a flash drive in this one, that's pretty good. And something I've actually never seen before, Kvass vodka. Not bad at all. Kvass vodka, that's good to get drunk on, right? It's premium, that. But that's it, that's all 8 stashes, and it took what, less than 5 minutes to get around. Obviously occasionally you may encounter a PMC heading to this extract, or a player scav walking around, but if you can just fight a little bit, you can get out with some really good shit. Honestly, this run is not even the best shit that I've found. I'll put up some pictures on screen of some of the really good shit that I've found through doing this, but this is how I make most of my money sort of risk-free now. So it's really good, really profitable, and I highly recommend you guys do it. Like I say, if you're on a scav, you can simply head over to the railroad extract straight after looting that 8th stash, and you can start to extract. And other than that, If you're a PMC and you spawn on the Emicom checkpoint side, then again you can extract at this railroad, but if you spawn on railroad side and you loot all this area, then you can either run through the store, through Idea, loot the tech stores like German, TechLight and all that, and then head out towards Emicom, or walk the outer wall and there is a few more stashes that you can loot on your way out. But as you can already tell, I've got a tri-zip and an M1 rig, an empty M1 rig, and I'm basically full. So you do get a lot of stuff through these stashes, and stuff that you wouldn't usually find on a normal day to day, like the face shield for example, or the Kvass vodka. So other than that guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this little loot run, let me know down below in the comments what you get from it. It's very risk free, it don't take long, and what have you got to lose really? You get a good amount of loot for a very short amount of time, and especially if you do it on your scav, you're risking nothing. I'd like to thank you all for staying to the end of this video, and if you did enjoy it, a like is always appreciated, and if you want to stay up to date with all my latest content, then you can hit that little red button below and subscribe to the channel. It really would mean the world to me. 80% of you, according to YouTube's analytics, that watch my videos are not subscribed, so if you do feel like doing it, hit that little red button. It's free and it makes me feel special. It might even get me rock hard, who knows. And if you want to play with me or many other people, then hit up the link in the description and join my Discord. There's people there that play Tarkov and many other games. Hit me up, we can play together sometime too. If you're a fan on how the gameplay looked in this video, then that's thanks to the long-term sponsor of the channel, Shadow. Shadow can turn any PC, tablet, phone or Mac into a high-powered gaming PC using cloud gaming. Unlike Stadia or GeForce Now, you aren't just paying for a gaming big picture mode, but a Windows desktop client with top-of-the-range hardware located at your local data center. If you have an internet connection of 15 megabytes or more and fancy giving this a go, then click the link in the description. It will take you to their website where you can do more research and find out if Shadow is available where you are. If you decide to sign up, using the code Samosh will give you money off your first month. And once again, thank you for staying to the end of the video. I love every one of you. I'll see you next time. Enjoy your evening.